It's time to eat that apple core. From Toronto, the latest from our daily newsletter at podnews.net. Better data is coming to every podcaster. As we've documented in the past, many different apps use a user agent called Apple Core Media to request podcasts, which makes it hard for podcasters and podcast hosting companies to know which app is really downloading them. Well, iOS 16 will fix that. A new API call has just appeared in Apple's documentation for the next version of iOS, allowing all podcast apps to correctly state their user agent. Developers can adopt this today. There'll be a public beta in July, and this will roll out for everyone in Q3, and you can expect Pod News to grumpily highlight apps who don't bother. Buzzsprout's global stats don't include Apple Core Media, which underestimates downloads from Apple Podcasts. On the other hand, Libsyn's stats wrongly attribute all traffic to Apple Core Media as Apple Podcasts. In other news, international publisher and event company Haymarket has bought the company behind the British Podcast Awards and similar awards in Ireland and Australia. Haymarket have plans to expand their position in audio. Headliner now supports direct sharing to TikTok as well as YouTube playlists. Podcast One is to take two of its podcasts live. Jordan Harbinger and Lady Gang will produce live video podcasts from Las Vegas as part of a deal with auto manufacturer Hyundai. Sports podcaster Religion of Sports has raised $50 million in funding. In Ukraine, indie podcast community Radio Podil had to stop during Russia's invasion. We link to what's happening there now. Resonate has posted a review of the Vocaster 2 from Focusrite, and Del Coleman, Chief Operating Officer of DCP Entertainment, is the curator of the Earbuds Podcast Collective this week, highlighting shows supporting the LGBTQ+ community. In People News, Kate London has been named SVP, Head of Music Legal and Business Affairs at Audio Up. She moves from a similar role at Global Music Rights. And Maya Prohovnik has been named Head of Talk at Spotify. She's replaced Michael Mignano in that role, and she was employee number 1 at Anchor. And in podcast news, Chatter That Matters, hosted by Marketing Hall of Legends Tony Chapman, features chats with people who do extraordinary things despite often challenging circumstances. Completely coincidentally, Tony will be introducing me on stage at Canadian Music Week this morning, but this mention in Pod News is in no means trying to curry favour with him, although he has already liked a tweet with it in. Geopat Podcast goes global this month with May Thomas from Made in India in this week's show, an upcoming appearance from Tony Doe in Nigeria next week, and 2 more to come. And one of the UK's best-known broadcasters, Nick Grimshaw, has launched a podcast called Dish with the chef and restaurateur Angela Hartnett OBE. The show starts tomorrow with the stars of hit TV show Ted Lasso, Hannah Waddingham and Phil Dunster. And that's the latest from your daily newsletter at podnews.net for Podcast Radio.